You've done it twice in a year now, two games of 15 catches or more. What's it like having a game like that? Is it like basketball, just being in a rhythm, shooting?
Yeah, for sure. You're just in a rhythm. It becomes like a training camp practice, and you're just going. You're just running plays and whatever's called, and you just feel comfortable with everything.
What's your emotion about, unfortunately, what happened to Mike? And have you talked to the other guys about the wide receiver group has got to step it up now?
Yeah, the emotion is obviously, kind of disappointing for him. He was off to a great start as well. And, he's one of our guys. So losing him in the room, on the practice field, it kind of, somebody's going to have to pick up that energy because, he's a guy who's always laughing, cracking jokes, stuff like that. So definitely going to have to, replace some energy. And then with the guys, I think it's understood what's going on. They're going to have to pick it up urgency-wise. Mike was a guy who makes plays all over the field, and especially down the field. So we're going to need some guys to step up.
Do you relish this rivalry with the Raiders any more than any other game? Is it just another game to you, or do you embrace this Charger-Raider thing that's been going on for 50, 60 years?
I think it's a little bit of both. Definitely another game because it's the next game, but it is the Raiders. So you definitely want to, go out there and get that win. It's a rivalry game, so the intensity is definitely going to be there a little bit more, and the speed of the game is going to pick up too.
You've always been good about acknowledging the guys who came before you and helped you along. Will you do anything with Q this week to sort of reassure him or just kind of get him?
Oh, absolutely. Every time we break the huddle, I'm probably going to tell him what he got, just so he knows, just so there's no misunderstanding, there's no question that he can just go play fast. And that's what I'm going to try to do, try to put him in the right spots, and hopefully he can just go out there and run.
He's been playing. He's obviously behind some guys, some more veteran guys. But what is he going to have to do in terms of just getting Justin's trust and just now that obviously you guys are going to need him to do more than probably was anticipated this early.
Just going to need him to be him. Be the guy that we drafted. We don't need no more. We don't need no less. When you get drafted first round talent, then we need first round talent, and that's just what it's going to come down to.
You feel like this room is better prepared to handle Mike's injury compared to last year when the room was kind of decimated there? I mean, there were 3-4 games when both you guys weren't in.
Absolutely. I was just saying that, Josh was the number one receiver last year for 5-6 weeks. So, he's more than capable of stepping in and playing that role. And like I said, Q is just going to have to, come on with it a little faster. Darius is going to get some more playing time. Keelan's probably going to get stepped up. So.
Keenan, this weekend you're going to be facing Marcus Peters. He used to be with Kansas City and then the Rams and everything. Yeah. You faced him before. Just what makes him such a dynamic corner?
He's a ball hawk. He's smart. He knows concepts. He plays the quarterback well. He breaks off of routes. He's risky. He tries to make plays out there. So you're gonna have to be on your A game.
And he loves to talk. Do you enjoy that with someone?
Oh yeah. We probably gonna be talking back and forth. That's my guy though. So it's all love.
So after that game, at what point did you realize the stats you had and that you had set these career highs and all this stuff? I mean, were you?
I didn't even know how much I had. Not until I was going to do the interview, and Jamal was telling me the full stats, but he was really just giving me the records that I broke. He wasn't really telling me what I did. It was like 6 records that I went through. I was like, all right. Wait, half of these are made up.
But you didn't feel any more fatigue or anything after?
No.
So you didn't.
Felt good.
So were you surprised when you saw what you had done?
Yeah. 215 is crazy.
No, and then the 49 from the passing?
Yeah.
How's the
49
arm?
passing. The arm is great, Trying to dial me another one up this week.
I know you guys had tried that a couple of years ago with Kansas City,
Yeah.
but when that play was called, how excited were you for that?
I'm excited, nervous. Don't f this up. Don't you mess this up, Keenan.
Justin said you had great form, that
Yeah.
you did a good job planting your feet and everything.
That's why I got the job. I look good doing it. It's just about making it happen.
What's it been like seeing the offense, develop these 3 weeks? No turnovers, no interceptions, but the intermediate and long game is really developing.
Yeah, it's been great. you know, like we've been saying in training camp, you know, Kellen's a guy who, you know, lets the players flourish, you know, and anything we want to change, like me and Herbo's on the sideline, like, hey, we can do this, we can do that, we can do this, you know, so he just kept dialing it up for us. So.
Is there anything that he does that surprised you anymore?
Herbo? Yeah, that pass, the third down pass, when he's rolling to the left, all the way back, yeah,
You weren't expecting that, were you?
I was expecting it.
you were.
I was just hoping that he was thinking what I was thinking, and he was like, it was no doubt. Like, he was definitely thinking the same thing.
What about that touchdown pass at Tennessee?
To me?
Yeah, the one right on.
breaking falling down, 360, get up, give me a chance, yeah.
And then had like a 25%.
Yeah, even the
completion rate.
sidearm to DP,
Yeah.
you know. Solid stuff. It's the fourth down pass to DP. Sick. That's on a rope.
Did you think it was going to Gerald in the back, or you
And no, it's funny. We were in a meeting yesterday, and Gerald was like, "You think he was getting the ball?" Gerald was like, "No, I didn't think I was getting the ball." No, that was a hell of a catch.
What was it like seeing your offensive line facing all those blitz opportunities and basically the pressure rate on Herbo was low?
It's tough. It's tough, especially when you got to do it all game. You know, we're really not running that much. You know, it's a lot of pass plays, and you got to block 7 guys every time. That's tough.
7 incompletions for him?
Yeah.
Out of 47 pass attempts, just what do you think about those numbers?
Hey, when you get dialed in, man, you're dialed in. You know, he was hitting, you know, doing what he's supposed to do. You know, finding the right guys. You know, looking in the right spots and checking to the right plays. So.
How important is this weekend for you guys to go into the bye week 2-2 and
That's
everything?
huge. AFC West game, first and foremost. You know, you got to get started off on that. You know, 1-0, and you know, going in 2-2 to the bye week is good for our emotions.
You had a chance to talk to Mike?
I talked to him yesterday in the training room.
How's he doing?
He's not bad, but Mike's a guy who's not going to really show any emotion. So,
Herbert said he can throw it harder than that.
yeah, he can. We don't want him to.
Is there a sense of, hey, you know what, bye week's next week, let's try and get that going, or is that like,
Really,
are you
it's-
like, you want to be out there?
Well, obviously I want to be
Yeah,
out
yeah,
there,
yeah.
You know, but it's at a point where it's like, okay, let's test it every single day, see how manageable it is, and when it gets to the point where it's like I can get on the field, and then whatever time that is at, that's obviously when I'll be ready to go. And so if that's this week or if that's next week after the bye, then you know we'll see. But it's not something that's like let's wait. It's more so can it go right now? Yes or no.
How difficult have these 2 weeks been for you?
I mean, it sucks. I've actually, it's funny, I've gotten asked that a couple times, and it's like I feel now the emotion of like being a fan when you're like watching, and I'm like, because when I'm at the game, I'm like locked in, like the emotion doesn't really get to you as much because you're so focused on the situation, you know, whatever you got to do. But now when I'm not in that zone and I'm not at the game, I'm like feeling the ups and downs of like, yes, no, like I'm standing this close to like my TV, like come on, boys, you know. So it's been tough, and so I'm glad to be finally back out in the grass with everybody.
Is it a high ankle sprain?
Yeah.
Just how much of a concern is that? Because, you know, with the position and everything,
Yeah.
it's something that could affect you the entire season,
Yeah.
even when you think it's 100%.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of like hamstrings. Like, you don't know the severity of it, you know, until you kind of, like, get into treatment and figure it out. And it's one of those things where you kind of progress with how fast it ever allows you to. And, you know, you saw me back on the field today, so mine's obviously in a good spot where we feel like, okay, like, there's some stability in there. So, for me, it's day to day. Okay, is it feeling better? It's been feeling better every single day, which is good. But even like my hamstring from 3 years ago, like I know exactly where my hamstring was. Like I know exactly the spot. I still feel it when I run sometimes. So I know it'll linger around. I've played through, you know, hamstrings before that are manageable, ankles as well. And so it's no different with this one. Get it to a point where it can be managed, and then, you know, just try to take care of it the rest of the season.
What were you able to do in practice today?
Yeah, you guys saw me warming up. I did the individual, and then had my own little workout just to make sure I was, you know, like I said, feeling this thing, making sure it was secure.
How do you feel it is? Like, are you still at the point where you're a little like nervous to go 100%, or like nervous if you get tackled that it could potentially re-injure?
It's strange because you go 100% of what it can go right now. Just with like sprains, like obviously it will limit yourself when there's pain or anything like that.
Yeah.
And you tape it up as much as you can to make sure it's secure. And for me, I'm at that point where you can make it pretty secure and feels good, and let's try to push this thing. And so it's been a ramp up to 100%, which who knows when I'll be ready to do that. Hopefully sooner rather than later, but we'll see.
What's the pain level?
I don't even know how to describe it. It's strange because it's not like a normal ankle sprain where it's just like swollen. It's like certain positions that will like cause the pain with the high ankle sprain. Because it's like I can sit here and I can move around like this and fine, but if I run in a certain position, then it's like, might spike. That's what the tape's trying to prevent, stuff like that. So I can't really explain it.
What between now and like deciding Friday or Saturday do you want to try and feel out? What would be the decision factor?
Really, it comes down to if I was going to play, hey, can I make it through like a full practice going 100%? And if I can do that, then that probably play, because that's the last test of being on the field is making it through, pushing 100%, running full speed cuts, right, reacting, all of that.
Do you feel like you could have done that today?
We're on our way. We're on our way. Is it there right now? Possibly, but today that wasn't what we were testing today, so didn't get to that.
What'd you test today?
Today, just making sure it's secure, run around a little bit, get a workout in, do some straight ahead stuff, do some curve running, do some cuts, and it was like, okay, that seemed to go well. Now let's see if we can take the next step.
Okay.
How frustrating is it? You had the great game in the opener, and you're sidelined the next 2 weeks, didn't you?
Yeah, it's frustrating for any of us going through it. Not just mentally, but also physically, right? Because now we have to deal with getting injury back. Playing through our body not feeling as good as it could be. But it's really the nature of the sport. You try not to be out. I've had a good track record these last couple of years, and so that's what I was a little bummed about. I messed it up, but I'm trying to get back as fast as I can. And just as a competitor, we do everything we can just to make sure we can help our team, but also be smart as a human to make sure that you don't come back and reset yourself in the injury.
Austin, you got a bye week coming. Does that enter your thinking at all in terms of this could be an extra week? Or
Not really. I answered it earlier where it's like, okay, when this ankle's ready, it's ready. If it's tomorrow, if it's next week, then so be it. It's not necessarily, hey, there's a bye. If I can play this game, I'm going to go out there and help the team. It's been a progress. It's not I'm not at a point where I've gone out there and tried to push it 100% yet. Like, that's not how the process works. You continue to build yourself back. It's kind of like climbing the stairs. You're not just going to jump straight to the top stair and tell me, oh yeah, I can make it there. You kind of go one by one, right? And okay, now we're progressing towards going to 100% yet. So I haven't been there yet.
If you don't mind, what is that? Like this week, what would you need to?
Yeah, so like even today was getting a workout in. You guys saw me out there in the field. I did individual, and so it's like, hey, let's go through individual, then go do a workout, do some curve running, do some straight ahead speed, do some cuts, and then we'll progress basically how you feel from that. And so I'll go and get ice. I'll talk to the trainers, and we'll see kind of what that progression looks like for me tomorrow.
Was there any setback today?
No.
What's been the most challenging part of this process for you?
Not being on the field. Not being able to help the guys. I mean, it's what we're here to do, right? We're on a mission. We feel like we have everything that we need to go and get to where we want to get. And being on the sideline and not being able to contribute because of stuff that you can't control sucks, But it's part of the game. Injuries are. But I'm doing everything now. It's my job. Hey, get back to help these boys out.
Was the diagnosis a high ankle sprain? I know you mentioned that somewhere. Okay.
Yeah.
And so how is that, I guess, different in terms of the rehab from like a regular?
Yeah, it's been strange. I've never had a high ankle strain before, and so dealing with this, like I could still sit here and move my ankle around, but it's more so in like the turning, with the high ankle, because it's not necessarily like in the flexion of my ankle, and so it's like the joint that's being held together by my muscles is what causes the pain when they're altered. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like above your ankle on the outside is where mine happened. I just got like hip drop tackle backwards on top of it. And so it's been a different type of recovery. Still doing a lot of ankle strength, ankle flexion, mobility stuff, but like I can run full speed straight ahead right now. But if I go turn, it's where it's like that's where I've been trying to build back towards. So
you stayed in the game after that tackle.
Yeah.
You don't normally see people with a high ankle sprain.
So there's severity of everything, right?
Yeah,
like so. it wasn't like, oh my God, it's like season ending, you know. And so yeah, it's been able to manage it. It's not the worst ankle sprain ever. So it's like, but now that my adrenaline stopped and everything, you know how it is at the game. I was like, hey, tape this thing up. I'm thinking it's just an ankle sprain, like a low ankle. And then I tried to go back in for a couple plays. I tried to come out actually, but then we went hurry up and I had to get back on the ball. And I'm like, crap, here we go. And he actually threw me the ball enough. And then it was funny because actually when it happened, well, it's not funny, but when it happened, I'm like, oh God, I need to come out. Like I got to get this ankle taped. And we went on the ball. And so I was out there on 1.5 leg and we ran another, play to the right. It still got 5 yards and like dove for a first down. And then, at the end of the game, during the 2-minute, I'm usually in on 2-minute, and it was like, coach is like, can you go? I'm like, look, if I get this thing kicked or anything, like I'm gonna need to come out. I don't want to waste our last time out. And so I was like, I can't go back in. And so then, obviously JK went in, but yeah, that's when I knew it was like, okay, maybe it's a little worse or something different than just a normal ankle sprain.
As far as providing stability for a high ankle, obviously you were mentioning if it's like a regular sprain, you just tape it.
Yeah.
What do you do to provide stability for a high ankle sprain?
Well, hopefully heal. Hopefully heal. But then, there's some tape, and then we have like different types of braces that go a little bit higher up your leg. That are just not just like focused on down around the foot. They're more focused around the muscles around the top of your ankle and try to compress that to keep your joint together.
What were your emotions watching the ebbs and flows of this last game Sunday?
I just spoke about this. I felt the emotions of being a fan because I wasn't at the game. I was watching it from home, and when I mentioned when I was at the game, when you're in the game, you're focused, you're locked in, and you're really like in the zone. And so you don't really have those swings because you got a job, you got a mission, you're laser focused. And when you're at home, I wasn't in that zone, and so I'm feeling the ups and downs of swing. My mom always tells me, she's like, I feel like I played the game after I watch, and I kind of got a sense of that where I'm like up, I'm doing push-ups, like I'm blowing off steam, I'm like this close to the TV, I'm screaming, I'm yelling, just supporting the boys as much as I can from home. And so yeah, I definitely felt the emotional roller coaster that the NFL is, and so I see why people love the sport so much to watch anyway.
So I know you're a pretty fantasy conscious person. You're talking about your stuff like that.
Yeah.
How much of this do you care to alert to your people who play?
It's for everyone, like I'm trying to get back for myself, first off, and then for my teammates, and then for this organization, and then it keeps going out to other people, like my family, like the fantasy fans, right? There's so many people that depend on not just the success of our team, but myself as well, and so there's a lot on the line, not just for them, but for everything, that comes before them. So I keep it all close to my heart because I know there's a lot of people supporting me. So yeah.
Frustrated the last couple of weeks been for the entire position because the three biggest people on that call were either out for a year or been sidelined for a while.
Yeah, it happens. It happens in this game. People get injured. We've seen other positions get injured as well. But yeah, it sucks because what do we want to do? We want to go out there and continue to prove our point that hey, like we continue to make a huge impact on this league. And you look at me, like for the last 2 years, like I missed one game because of COVID, right? And so it's not that you can predict injuries. You can't. They're going to happen. You don't want them to happen. And yeah, then when it starts happening to our running back position or any position, you just hate to see it. But yeah, frustrating. It's frustrating for anyone that's getting injuries. That's because look at the guys that are on the field. Right? They're starters. We want these guys on the field because that's what makes the game so entertaining, is seeing people that can play at a high level play. So.
Will you wear a brace to, like in practice, and then see
do whatever I got to wear to make it feel secure. So if it's a brace, if it's tape, if it's both, if it's none, then we'll do that. Yeah, right. If it's a straight leg strap and I got to make sure that I'm in a place where it feels good to actually go out there and perform. Yeah.
Are you a patient guy, or is it?
Am I a patient guy?
Is it difficult?
I would say yes, I'm a patient guy, but I'm also urgent. There's a lot of urgency within what I'm trying to do. So I'm right on the line. Like, when does this thing feel secure enough to go out there and play and then get me on the field?
You had a great game. I mean, your best game here probably was that game against the Raiders last year. I mean, are you excited to play them again? Or?
You said, am I excited to play them again?
Yeah, play them again.
Yeah, man, it's always exciting to play the Raiders, man. It's going to be a fun one. Can't wait to get out there.
How weird do you think it'll be not seeing Derek on the other side? And you're prepared for three quarterbacks, but especially with not Derek being there.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a little weird, but like I said, man, just looking forward to another opportunity to go out and get a win.
Are you a guy who believes that sacks come in waves? I mean, I know you've been close.
Yeah, absolutely, man. 3 games in, but we getting there. It's on the way. Yeah.
You're probably one of the few guys left in the league or on this roster who's gone up against Brian Hoyer.
Yeah.
If he would play, what's kind of like going up against him?
Just got to understand dealing with a consummate professional, somebody that's going to go out there and put the team in the best position to win the game. He's been in some of the best systems, been around some of the best coaches, some of the best quarterbacks, and so just got to understand that when you got a guy like that, you got to be ready for everything.
How much of a challenge is it having to prepare for 3 different guys, especially as varied as they are?
You could say 3 different guys, but it's more so the system, and understanding what they want to do with 17 and 8. And so that's the only thing on our mind.
Did you think last week, I mean, the game kind of went how all the games have gone this season, down to the wire in terms of how the game went this week on Sunday. It went down to the wire like all the games this season, and y'all came out, with a win this time. But did you feel like y'all fixed anything? The issues that you guys have had throughout the year that you talked about last week, or did you feel like things just kind of turned the right way on Sunday?
I wouldn't say we fixed things, but like I said, man, when it's time to play winning football and situational football, we got to be on all cylinders, and those penalties hurt us again. That's 3rd week in a row. On 3rd downs especially, and now it's different things that we got to fix this week, understanding who we're going against. And so, it's just constantly learning from the mistakes being made on the field, whether you win or lose.
I mean, do you think that's concerning that you have had those penalties?
Yeah, it's concerning, man, but it's also the 3rd game of the year, and guys are still learning how to play together, whether it's on the back end and the front end. And so it's just a matter of the game slowing down for everybody throughout the year. No worries, but it's what you call it? It's a level of detail that we have to bring to the game, and it all starts on the practice field.
What's it been like seeing Tully and his development?
Man, it's fun. It's fun when you see a guy like that, man. You knew he was going to do great things, but for him to put it together on game day, it's special, man. It's special. But like I said, it's the 3rd game, and we want him to keep doing it all year.
Have you and Justin fought over to check on the Friday or Saturday meals yet?
Say that one more time.
Have you or Justin fought over to check on the Friday or Saturday meals yet?
Nah, man, we gotta get them guys over there with us one of these days. But not yet. I'm fighting along right now.
How much is it about being smart with this, especially because you guys still have the bye week's coming up. You guys still have a long season ahead of you.
Yeah, exactly. That that definitely plays a factor into it, where it's like you don't ever want to miss games, but when you're right up against the bye early in the season, it's like there's some time there to make sure that maybe it's manageable. Hey, let's get 100%, and then boom, ready to go after the bye. That's a 2-week period. It's only one more game, so there's definitely some of that into it as well. But just really want to make sure I keep on the right steps to get back and make sure this thing can run.
Could you put a number on where you're at?
Put a number? What do you mean?
Like you say, you're not 100%. Could you put a number on it?
A
like
percentage?
85, 90?
It's tough because it's like, first of all, I think you got to establish what type of threshold you can actually play at. Like does it need to be like 80% where it needs to be able to play on? And so it's like, I don't even know. I don't even know if I can give you a number that's correlated with anything.
Gotcha.